the Algol, that like that combination with Mars and Chiron. Like I feel like that indicates either victory or defeat of a powerful enemy. Again, like microcosm, macrocosm, world stage, individual story. In mythology, obviously the hero does overcome. I do think that that inherently indicates the collective potential to defeat or master certain elements of our own lower nature, karmic struggles, toxic attachments as we move through this energy as well. So again, like there is like true soul growth, I think, that can be attained moving through this period of time if we are not overly attaching to perhaps the states of victimhood that might be catalyzing, you know, this entire snowball or ripple of events right now. Liberation from suffering could be a theme here as well. There could also be, gotta say it again, like that elephant over there in the room, actual beheadings or injuries to the head that are prominent stories in the news or media. Or again, it could be more metaphorical and people just like losing it, losing their minds, heads exploding, mind blown. Maybe also like shocking disclosures culminating in the need for heads to roll. And also, again, like the shock factor here, the like surprise attack, that could be an element of this as well, because remember a few minutes ago I was like, the fact that Mercury is so involved with the new moon is also another element of the story, because in the story, and actually it's Venus too, it's so crazy, like Athena, when Perseus goes on the quest to slay the Medusa, he gets assistance by Athena and he gets assistance by Hermes, and Athena would correlate obviously to Venus energy. Hermes is Mercury, and this is a Venus lunar cycle. Obviously Venus is in the mutual reception with Mercury. Venus and Mercury are working together. Mercury is conjunct the new moon at Algol. Like Mercury is there while the hero goes on the journey, Mars and Chiron. And in the story, the reason, you know, Perseus is able to like surprise attack and slice the head off the Medusa while she's sleeping because of the assistance of Hermes, who is Mercury, who is conjunct the position of Algol, who is right there. So I don't know, you guys, like that's crazy to me as well. There could be some type of news information that functions to sever something, to sever ties, to sever bonds, to cut the lid off of something, to cut the strings. I don't really know, but I find it interesting that like it's Venus and Mercury in the mutual reception working together, and that's the same energy that was assisting Perseus in his hero's journey to slay the beast, you know, the Medusa, who again, there's two stories of victimhood happening here. There's the Chiron victim story, and then there's the Medusa victim story. But in the Medusa victim story, she identifies with the monster that she was cast as and becomes that. In the Chiron story, he overcomes the initial wound and does not identify with it and becomes the master as a result, and then goes on to train the heroes who slay the monster. So it's like we defeat the lower instincts. Like victimhood can go two different ways, you know what I mean? Like it can actually like make us into, and it's like the classic story, you know, like the abused becomes the abuser, like, or becomes the like advocate, you know what I mean? Like we can, when some type of trauma or victimization occurs, like it's either going to be an over identification with the state of victimhood that then perpetuates that suffering, or it's going to be the ability to transmute that suffering into power through pain, wisdom through experience, that then allows us to transcend that circumstance and through our own self-mastery be liberated from that suffering. And then defeat maybe the thing that brought us the suffering in the first place through just no longer being a resonant match for it or with it. So things being intertwined, things correlating, things going together, that Mercury influence right there as well, like some type of shock factor associated with what's going on perhaps. Another interesting thing about this chart, just like in the context of everything and all of the varying themes coming through, is the symbolism associated with the position of Venus, who again is ruling this new moon cycle. Venus is at 28 degrees of Gemini for the new moon. That Sabian symbol is a man declared bankrupt. So again, like we've got these financial themes coming through, like being cut free, cut loose from something maybe, but definitely like serious financial stuff going on here as well. I mean, a Taurus lunar cycle would also indicate that. Financial disclosures could be why heads are rolling with this. People could, you know, as I was just sort of saying, be cut off, cut out, cut down, or cut back as a part of however this plays out. The vengeance thing, also maybe people taking matters into their own hands, seeking retribution as a result maybe of some financial matter that goes down. People are probably also going to feel pretty justified, I will say, in whatever action they feel they need to take to account for whatever damage they perceive as being done. People are probably going to be willing to take justice into their own hands here. And again, like, there is this weird transactional nature to the way that all of this seems to be functioning as well. I do think that people will also be more like inclined to pursue what they want here and not take no for an answer. Although honestly, like, what they want with Venus in the sign of Gemini may be information or partnerships, or again, like some type of reciprocity or fairness. Deals, agreements, negotiations, and decisions, though, could be something of significance with, you know, the Algol dynamic. This could also be like budgets being cut, things being pared back. And I already said, like, hi.